Hi folks, in this video we're going to introduce you to hot composting. Today we're gathering up starting materials for our next compost pile. We've gathered up buckets full of wood chips, cardboard, straw, food scraps, and vetch. Today we have a few more things to gather, so we're doing a little running around to pick up the last of our starting materials. Our first step is to Olympia Coffee Roaster. This video isn't sponsored, but I want to give Olympia Roasters a shout out for allowing us to gather spent coffee grounds and coffee chaff from their yard waste bins. It really comes in handy and it lets us gather large quantities of what we need, so thank you. We keep the lids on the coffee because the chaff blows away easily, and we never know when it's going to rain around here in the Pacific Northwest. Next we stop to talk to my friend Ava, who owns Micro Uprisal in Tenino, Washington. Ava gave us permission to go by her farm and pick up spent mushroom kits. We use these as woody materials in our pile. These kits are great for inoculating fungal substrate into our compost pile, ensuring that when we look at them under the microscope, we're going to find lots of beneficial fungus and fungal spores. Our last stop is to the West Central Park community hub that features a Saturday market during the spring and summer, hosts outdoor movies, events, a community garden, walking paths, and food trucks. In fact, before its current reiteration, I ran Rosie's Joint, a barbecue food truck parked mostly at the West Central Park. I was walking through the park the other day when I noticed the yard waste bin was topped off with a bunch of freshly cut grass. We returned today to find the cut grass had been covered by some branches that had been cut down from local trees. But we're going to dig underneath them and gather what we need. Now we're heading back to the house where we're ready to start preparing our starting materials for tomorrow's assembly. Brandy unpacks and chops up the food scraps that we froze as we collected them over the winter. We took them out of the freezer the day before yesterday to give them time to defrost. We had hoped to collect a bucket or two, but ended up with just under a bucket. We made up for the lost volume by adding a little more of the cut grass that we collected from the park. We're using 1 bucket of food, 4 buckets, or I think there's actually 6 buckets of grass. Next, we turn our attention to gathering up the wood chips and cardboard as the bulk of our woody materials. Brandy picked up some rich wood chips from a cut tree along the forest line. I need to remember to loan her some buckets. I was also able to get some wood chips from city workers when they were trimming trees along the power lines in the fall. I was able to get about a dozen buckets. They've been spread out in my backyard over the winter, so Brandy is out gathering up 10 buckets. Before we soak our dry woody materials, we need to change the water filter. Since I'm connected to city water, we want to filter out any chlorine or chloramine added to municipal water that kills bacteria in our pipes. But we don't want to kill the very same bacteria that we are encouraging to consume our pile and turning it into rich soil. It's time to start soaking our brown materials, including the wood chips. Keeping a lid over the top while they soak helps to keep the wood chips submerged. They tend to float as the bucket fills with water. We're measuring out 8 buckets of cardboard. I put a call out to my neighborhood association that I was accepting cardboard, and boy did they deliver. One neighbor dropped off 3 large boxes that I believe held pre-assembled bikes. I've got tons of cardboard for future piles. Before soaking, I showed Brandy how to make compost extract. By gently massaging a few scoops of the mature compost pile in water, we release the biology of the soil into the water. This will help to inoculate our brown materials with beneficial biology and jumpstart our new pile. The exact combination of ingredients varies from one pile to the next. We're experimenting using a bucket full of these bamboo plates and utensils. I scooped them up from an event I attended last year. The nonprofit took great pride in using disposable plateware, and they allowed me to collect the used items to test in a hot pile. We're interested in seeing how well they break down and how long it takes. So stay tuned for upcoming videos looking at how well these bamboo utensils and plates break down through the next few weeks. Got the wood chips soaking. Wood chips, wood chips. We're going to see about using another pile that we started last fall, Isabella. Isabella looks good under the microscope. No signs of pathogens. Lots of bacteria, protozoa, nematodes, and fungi. Our recipe will call for 3 buckets. And one more thing we're experimenting with in this pile is a new source of high nitrogen material, vetch. Vetch is in the pea family and is a nitrogen fixer. That's why it shows up in early primary plant succession. Like peas, clover, beans, and alfalfa, vetch can also be used as a high nitrogen material that bacteria can easily consume in our piles. As they release the nitrogen, it becomes more available and it's released into the soil, made available to plants. The closer to pink or red that the root nodules turn, the more nitrogen fixing the plant is helping to store. So now that we've gathered most of our materials, we're ready to assemble the pile. Subscribe to our channel to follow along the rest of the process as we assemble, process, cool, look at her under the microscope, and eventually add her to our garden as an amendment to our soil. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.